What's going on, people? This live stream right here. Yeah, this live stream right here, man, may not be for you, but consider this old friends becoming strangers. I don't know if you've ever been there. People you thought you would be friends with for a lifetime. They kind of just not in the right mind, and they out of sight, out of time, out of mind. I don't know, on the grind somewhere else. I don't say this to anybody that to make any what do you call it to cause any to make any enemies or whatever the case may be. But just sometimes you get busy, sometimes you're doing things, sometimes you're out there in the world just you know doing whatever it is you do. Sometimes you get family, sometimes you get a new set of friends, sometimes you have different influences that take you different places and stuff like that. Thank you to the one person that's in the chat. Didn't plan on going live again at this time, but why not? Just wanted to postulate and put out there some thoughts. The stuff that I'm thinking about or whatever the case may be. Yeah, sirens. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just kind of weird sometimes. How it goes. How things can transpire and whatnot. It's just people you were close with. You thought you'd be tight with forever in the day, and it's like whatever. We go what's your way. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how any of you feel about it. I don't know if it's something that matters to you. I know there's folks out there that have experienced it and have dealt with it, and I've had to mull over things or whatever. Folks maybe as close to you, as tight as brothers, or as thick as thieves, as they say. In particular ways or whatnot. And that's just what that is. I mean, really, what are you gonna do? You know, I mean, I guess there's just multiple reasons why people, just tend to move astray and go astray. It's like, what do you do about it? I think, all that you really can do sometimes, when old friends become strangers, is make peace with the situation. Wish folks the best when you see them. Don't have any animosity or hate in your heart, especially if things are on good terms. Then you just let it be on good terms, and that's just what it is. You see folks in the streets, or you see them around and about. It ain't got to be nothing, crazy or whatever the case. People can be civil. I mean, and it's important not to take it personal sometimes if don't communicate with people like you used to. People have, family things going on. Sometimes folks got health issues. Sometimes, as crazy as it sounds, sometimes folks just died. They done passed away on you and you didn't know. And you got to get in touch with the family or whatever the case may be. So it's one of those situations where you just look at it and say, hey, this is what it is. This is how it transpires. So I mean, I think of old friends and old situations, and sometimes I look back and I wonder sometimes, how is that person doing, or what went wrong, or maybe they living their life and doing something different, and you kind of just wish folks the best. That's just really what it is as it pertains to that situation. So, I try to, I just try to put it in that perspective. I mean, like I said, I don't know about you. I don't know how you, out there, deal with old friends and stuff like that, and how folks become strangers. But it's just very interesting, how these things happen and whatnot. Like I said, it's just sometimes people, no longer see eye to eye, and they part ways. Sometimes you're not enemies, but you're just not friends anymore. I've seen people, in those type of situations and whatnot, and it just goes the way it goes when it comes to that. There's not too much you can do about that. Like I said, so it's I just find it interesting and whatnot. How things change. How from one season, of life, you can have a tight knit group to the next season you just don't. Thank you for the one thumbs up. I appreciate that. You know, yeah, like I said, I don't know. Where you may come from or you may stand on the issue or whatnot. It's just something where I try to. Hey, what's going on, Little Crazy's house? Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. I'm just talking about, old friends becoming strangers. Sometimes you just meet new friends and, you move on and you go to different groups. You have different influences. Sometimes you may go away to school, or you may have a life altering experience, or you may get locked up. Sometimes you may die. Like I said, in that case, of course, people are going to become strangers and whatnot. So it is kind of crazy like that. Sometimes people betray folks. Sometimes people steal money or things happen and whatnot. And that's not to be negative towards anybody or anything. It's just it's just the way it is sometimes. people change. Seasons change, people change too. With the seasons and stuff like that. And that's just the way it goes along. It's like really, what could you do about that? So you kind of go from there. Um, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just look at it that way. As far as what's going on. Um, I don't know. Let me see what's happening, because I know people are around and about, but I know they're not seeing me live, so I got to make sure that I share my live streams and
Okay.
whatnot. Maybe I'm sounding crazy, maybe being as clear, maybe I'm too vague, in my presentation or whatever the case may be. It froze. Oh, it froze. It must have froze when I shared the video or whatever. I'm back now, so it's all good. I was just sharing my live stream out because there's a lot of people, for some reason, with YouTube, they don't know that everybody in your I guess your panoply and your subscribers don't know sometimes when you share a video. Sometimes I share too many videos, and YouTube may see it as me spamming my subscribers. So it's kind of crazy like that, how YouTube would operate and say, okay, you're spamming your subscribers, so not everybody in your subscriptions, even ones with the bell rung, will know about what you're doing and what you're saying. That's what that is. I'm not worried about that. Let it be what it is. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, back to this conversation at hand. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I mean, I guess when it comes to friendship, I guess when it comes to you know looking on how things was, you realize that you just outgrow situations. Sometimes you outgrow people. Sometimes people outgrow you. And it's not to knock any particular situations. It's just that people get different interests as they go, as they grow, as they move about in the world. Sometimes you have kids and your friends don't. Or maybe vice versa. So they live in a single life. You're the one married, or whatever the case may be. Vice versa. It's a situation where you grow and you adapt, you change with each other, or you don't. I think the thing is, as old friends become strangers, it's important not to have hard feelings towards anybody. It's important to be able to be peaceable with somebody who you probably once confided in, somebody you once looked at as a brother or a sister, was close as family and stuff like that. To the point where folks are maybe not that close anymore. They just, have different
Mm-hmm.
situations that's going on. Maybe business relationships or whatever the case may be. So it is that. I mean, I don't know. It's just wild though. It's just really wild. Like I said, I don't know how much sense I'm making in this situation, but I sit back sometimes and I just think about different folks that I used to kick it with, different people that are out there doing different things. Maybe people have gotten married, folks are on their second marriage
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting how that goes. What's going on, Time Reveals? Appreciate you for coming through. Thank you for stopping by. Much appreciated. Just talking about old friends becoming strangers. Sometimes people just move in different circles. They have different influences. There are different things going on. And it's not a problem. When that happens, it's just a fact of life. Sometimes it boggles my mind. When people get mad at you just for moving on and doing different things. Sometimes you could just go to school, or sometimes you may have had another kid, or sometimes you may have just been in a hospital, or you may have been going through something with your spouse, your significant other, or something like that. Or maybe you've been going through depression. Whatever it is, people change. Sometimes we become strangers with people that we were once close with, because we may feel like those people who were once close with us, or those people we once hung around, can't relate to who we are now. So it's kind of crazy like that. People, they change. People, become different folks. Sometimes we have those friends which are precious, which are valuable, which can move with us through all the stages of our life. But sometimes those are far and few in between. You have people in your life for reasons, seasons, lessons, blessings, all those particular things that people have probably heard before. And I really believe in that type of stuff. I really believe that people come in for periods and pockets of your life, and maybe not everybody is going to be there through the whole time. But I believe that you may have those one or two real close, real down people that are there for you, throughout the whole situation. And if you're lucky to have, maybe a handful of them, then that's even better. I actually lost some friends because it was only for a season. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Time reveals that does happen like that, and I'm sorry to hear that happens. But then maybe I'm not, maybe I'm not, because sometimes we need that. Sometimes we're carrying dead weight. Sometimes we have the users and abusers, the leeches, the lurches, and stuff like that. The people, who are just around to try to get some money. The people who are around just to try to keep the free food and liquor going. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what the situation is. So it does come down to a situation where you have to be mindful of that. Excuse me, I gotta cut my light on. Give myself some light. Sorry about that. Because I see that the sun is starting to go down. Forgive me. I got all kind of stuff around me, but yeah, just having a conversation. Yeah, I mean, you have people in your life for different reasons and stuff like that. And it's important to understand. Whether a person is in your life for a season. Just a particular reason, a lesson, a blessing. Sometimes we needed to learn some things. From folks and whatnot, folks that we may have thought were our friends, really not, and that's always hard dealing with the betrayal aspect of friendship, because you can never be betrayed by somebody, who's a stranger, only a true friend can betray you. What's going on, Yankee Outdoors Adventures? Appreciate you for coming through. Just sitting here talking about, old friends becoming strangers. It happens for various reasons. It's not always a negative thing when basically old friends become strangers. The reality is that it's just something that happens in life. People have natural progressions in their life and different things that are going on. Sometimes people are in a different space. They're on a different type of time. When it comes to how they're moving and stuff like that. As far as their life and stuff like that, and maybe the interests that folks have had at one point what doesn't match where they are now. Like the type of friends that I would have had when I was 16 and 17 are not the same friends that I have at 25 unless you got childhood friends going along with you. And then sometimes the work friends are not the same as the friends that you have outside of the job, and vice versa. But you do have those one or two people that yeah, time reveals it's like that. You have those one or two people who can go with you through it all. They can go with you through your ups and downs, your breakups, drug use, getting locked up, all kind of stuff. Going crazy. There's people that are there, and it's important to know that not all people are built for that. Not everybody is built to go through every up and down with you, every life situation. Not everybody's built for that stuff. So it does come to a point where over time you'll see that there's just certain people in your life for periods of time, and people will become strangers, and it's not a bad thing. It just means that people change, things happen, stuff. It's stuff that goes out of whack and whatnot. It's just it goes crazy like that. Like I said, I don't know how you folks feel about that. You can let me know how you feel about old friends becoming strangers. Maybe you have some thoughts on that. In the chat room. Things that you may want to share. I mean, you don't have to go in deep. If you got any insights or anything that you would like to, finesse me with on this live stream, I'm all for it because, it is about conversation. Thank you for anybody that has come through. I just think sometimes my thing, what I try to do when folks become strangers and we're no longer speaking like we do, I just try to make sure that folks know it's because people just grow apart. Sometimes that's the best way to put it. When it comes to old friends becoming strangers or people you thought that would always be there for you. Sometimes you really just grow apart. Sometimes it's not anything negative. Sometimes there's no gossip. Sometimes there's no conflict. It's just you just don't see eye to eye. You're just not on the same level, or you just have different interests. You're on one side, I'm on the other end, and that's just the way it is. I mean, nothing wrong with that. It's just about being mature enough to deal with that and put it into perspective. Now it does become something when you do have money involved, or there's a female or something, or somebody was dating somebody else's boyfriend or something like that. There's a whole bunch of things that do. Do you believe in friends on the YouTube? Yeah, I do. Little Crazy House. I do believe in friends on YouTube, but it still comes with a caveat to me, or it still comes with barriers and whatnot. I believe in it, but I still say, it takes more time to build a friendship on YouTube than it would, I guess, in real life, because on YouTube there's so many different things that you have to do to protect yourself. What up, Eggman Rocks? I appreciate you for coming through. I think when it comes to YouTube and trying to make friends and stuff like that, little crazies, you have to be careful because first you have to know that who you're talking to is who they say they are. If you want to get into that part of it, we're not meant to walk the path of life side by side. We just cross paths with everyone, meet someone, continue the same trail, and continue your own path. That's one way of looking at it. Yankee Outdoors. That's definitely one way. I met some good people here on YouTube. Yeah, I agree. Time reveals. Those are great points that all of you have made in here. I guess I'll go from the last comment that was made. Yeah, basically, little crazies. What happens is, you just got to be careful, protect yourself, not to give too much of yourself at one time to any particular person here on YouTube. What's going on, Drive Shaft Drew? Appreciate you for coming through. So what I'll say to that is just be careful. Just you trust, but you verify people are who they say they are, and hold people to their word. If their word
Mm-hmm.
doesn't match up with what they're doing and stuff like that, then I'll be a little wary and whatnot. But that's just what that is. And let me go back to the comment, Yankee Outdoors. We're not meant to walk the path of life side by side. We just cross paths with everyone we meet. Some may continue on the same trail, but we are all on our own path. And I can definitely. What's going on, Tips from Taj Time? Thank you for coming through. She got the new channel. For those folks that haven't seen the new channel, Tips from Taj Time, awesome channel. Check it out, as well as the other old channel. Well, I'm gonna say old channel, the original channel, the OD channel. Uh, yeah. Uh, Thank you. I appreciate that. Time reveals. Thank you, Cargo 619. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Big respect to you, Tosh Time. You're awesome in what you do. I don't want to get starstruck inside my own chat room, but anyway, yeah, Yankee Outdoors. As far as the paths that we walk, everybody is not meant to walk the same path side by side. And thank you, Cargo 619, for coming through. Shout outs to Cargo. She had a birthday yesterday. Awesome channel. Encourage you to check her out. Live from Canada. She does the Disney trivia and all that stuff and whatnot. She's an awesome channel. A lot of awesome channels in here right now. I do appreciate all you folks for stopping by. But yeah, Yankee Outdoors. I agree. Some of us may continue on the same trail in life and go along the same path, but a lot of us don't. A lot of us just cross paths, for a moment, for a second. Sometimes we just need to, learn something from each other. Sometimes we need to just to impart some wisdom on each other. Sometimes, you freaking each other out real good. Sometimes you depressing each other real bad. I don't know, but we all have different reasons for why we meet each other and cross each other's path. Hopefully, when you cross people's paths for whatever amount of time, indeterminate amount of time, hopefully you learn something from it. Even if it's a negative experience. I try to believe that I can learn from everybody. Okay, I'm gonna go since I can't hear what I want to hear. So hit the thumbs up for you. Uh, I'm gonna go since I can't hear what I want to hear. What are you talking? What are you talking about? Uh, I'm gonna go since I can't hear, but I want to let you know that I hit the likes button. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I thought you were saying you can't hear what you want to hear, so you was out. I was like, I was confused for a second. You can't hear. Hopefully, you can hear me. Let me know, folks, if you can still hear me. If you can't still hear me, then this won't mean anything much. I thought you were saying you wanted to hear what you wanted to hear, But yeah, 619. Sorry, you can't hear. Technical difficulties abound in YouTube or whatever. Thank you for the folks that have hit the like button. I appreciate you. Yeah, nah. I mean, I was all good, Tosh Time. I was just trying to. I had to reread the comment. That's a good thing I got the glasses on. I was like, she said, I can't hear what I want to hear, so I'm out. I was like, nah. It's all good. Nah, but I hear you. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Cargo 619. But yeah, I don't know. When it comes to friends, like I said, I have my issues and stuff like that, but I know people go through different stuff. Just the internet doing this thing. Well, is the internet dying? Most people would say that the internet is alive. Eggman rocks. You just got to take the red or the blue pill. Maybe we're still stuck in the matrix. I don't know. But that just is what that is when it comes to that. And I would like to know what some of you folks, or some more of you folks that just came in when it comes to old friends and becoming strangers. If you have any thoughts and feelings about that you would like to share, I mean, there's different things that people have, as it pertains to that. I mean, how do you feel about I guess long-lasting friendships? Do you think it's something that can happen for everybody, or is it just some people? I mean, Do you feel that, like it's like or Yankee Outdoors are saying, we just cross paths and not everybody's meant to walk the same path? What do you believe? What do you think about that? I mean, I know you got some opinions out there, some things that are on your mind, on your heart, or whatever, as it pertains to that. So I don't know. For me, I just think it's only certain people that really you vibe with and connect with, no matter what. It's like, you have arguments and disagreements, you have falling outs, but you find a way to get back together. Game over. Friends are like birds. I just let them fly away. That's one way. An interesting way of looking at it. I don't know if I would see it that way, but that's one way of seeing it. My thoughts are, when my friends turn into strangers, it was supposed to be that way. Wow. Oh, those are heavy words. Those are heavy words. Game Over said, "Let them fly away," and Tosh Tom is talking about, just that's the way it's supposed to be. It's like it's a predetermined destination. It's like, is those is like angry birds flying away. Some things are just meant to be, and some things are not. I think everyone meets for a reason, but that doesn't mean we don't all know the reason. True, Yankee Outdoors. Sometimes we know the reason. Sometimes we don't know the reason. I mean, we were all meant to meet for some reason, some particular purpose. Just like we here on this live stream today. We were all here, gathered here together to be married on this live stream. I feel you both need to like each other, to be true friends. Yeah, that's definitely one way. I mean, one of the things I've learned, since you just reminded me of something, Dry Shack Drew, you reminded me of something that an old timer taught me, that a person can't truly be a true friend until they actually take accountability for their own actions. Meaning this: if I'm somebody who wrongs you, or if I'm somebody who says something negative to you, or if I'm somebody who did something crazy, I should be able to own up to my stuff. I stopped trying to force square pegs into round holes in my 20s. Wow, okay, look at you. Look at you. Okay, Tosh Tom. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, definitely. Maybe we only meet to learn something, and then once we've learned what we can learn from the individual, we move on, and some takes a lifetime to learn the others, and some we learn quickly. Yeah, definitely, Yankee Outdoors. The birds come back in due season like geese. Well, the bird analogy. If we're gonna go to the bird analogy, I mean, there got to be something to draw folks back. That's an understanding that has to come there. Game Over. And definitely, Tosh Time, what you're talking about, trying to fit the round pegs into a square hole, or square hole into a round peg. You know what I mean. You don't want to force anything, and if anything, yeah, I don't want to have some folks coming back because I got a bird feeder. I mean, I'm not trying to have food ready so people can come back. Either you want to be my friend because you want to be my friend, or not. I don't need a bird feeder. But that was funny. That was funny. Caw, caw. Oh my God, that's funny. I don't know where to go with that one. Game Over, but I definitely get the whole analogy. Caw, ooh, hooty hoo. I don't know. I try to do the bird call, pigeon call or something. I don't know, but hopefully my friends are not like birds. I mean, but it does come to a situation where, if you can't be real with each other, if you can't just, relate to each other, flipping pigeons, funny. If you can't relate to each other in a real way and just be honest with each other straight up, then what are you doing? I truly believe there's a web of life, and we're all connected whether we meet or not. True. There's that too. Eggman is hyped. Woo! There you go. I don't know if any of you believe in like the 6 degrees of separation. Everybody's connected by 6 degrees, in some way. I mean, some people believe in that whole, analogy, that, this one knows that one knows that one. And there's even a game online, was it Geese After BK? I don't get that one, Eggman Rocks, but you and Game Over probably trying to connect something, but BK Geese, I don't know. But maybe I got a bird feeder back here. But that's another story. Anyway, I don't know if anybody heard of 6 degrees of separation, knowing that, there's only 6 people that separates us from each other. I don't know how true that is, but I think we're all connected in some way, even if it's just the fact that we live on the same planet. We believe that we breathe the same air. Some of us live in the same region. some of us the same country, some of us share the same likes and dislikes, about various things or whatever. I mean, we're all connected in some type of way without knowing it, but then the question is, what does that all mean? How do you put it together? How do you structure it? What is the grand scheme of things or the bigger picture about that? And I guess it leads into that. I believe we are all part of the universe. Our energy all comes from the same place. Like a wave on the ocean, we are individuals, but it isn't the wave. Hold on, let me see. This thing keeps fading. But is the wave not the ocean? So aren't we the universe? Mmm, that's deep right there. So it's not the wave, the ocean. Are we not the universe? Oh my God. I mean, you're getting deep on me, man. I didn't expect this to get deep. I was just talking about. So, in a way, you are me and I am you. Oh, man. Listen, this is getting a little heavy, a little too philosophical. I mean, in a lot of ways, you could say we are one. We are electric, magnetic, light beings in water. Well, I mean, it is said, I mean, to quote a man, from a movie, or quote a old, Yoda, luminous beings are we, I mean, we are beings of light, or creatures of the earth. We connect in different ways, but I don't know. I mean, are we not the universe? I mean, it depends on what context and what you mean. I don't pretend to understand the whole context of what you're coming from, but it's possible. It's definitely possible. I don't want to say it's not. It's definitely a philosophical question to answer. To look into, something to ponder. I appreciate that, Yankee Outdoors. I mean, are we not the universe? Maybe we are. We're definitely a part of it. So I mean, that would make us in some way. I didn't expect to get that deep though. Yeah. So I hope it was a heaven, but when you die, game over. Sorry, game over. Not bad to you. Um, yeah. That's interesting. Now you're talking about death. Heaven and hell and all that stuff. Not hell, but you're talking about heaven and whatever the case may be. I don't know. That's interesting. I didn't even think about the whole concept of heaven in the midst of friends and stuff like that. But that's something that comes up. I do believe that we're all connected in some type of way, in some shape, some fashion. We are all connected. We are all one. We are all, a part of each other in some type of way. Now, whether or not we agree with these connections, whether or not we care about these connections, is another story. But I do believe a lot of what Yankee was saying, some of what Tasha's saying, about certain things are meant to be, and then there's just the fact that we cross paths and we learn things from each other, and we go about our way. Some of us go along the same path and let it be what it is. You and me should do a live show together. I'd love to talk to you about it in more detail. Well, Yankee Outdoors Adventures, just set up a time. I tell anybody out there that wants to do a live stream with me, I'm off on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, or even if there's another time that you want to do it, after, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I could do that. Thank you, Drive Shaft Drew, for being here. I appreciate you as well. See you later, my friend. I'll see you in the future. I appreciate that too. I'm about to get out of here in a few minutes myself. I'm not going to keep you too long. But that's what it is. Transcendence. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that movie with Johnny Depp. That was an interesting movie. A little freaky, a little scary, but it was what it was. So I ain't mad at Johnny Depp for doing that. I will be going live later on in the night, or I will make the attempt to go live later on in the night. Who knows what I will talk about, but I just had it in my heart to talk about this particular subject here. And I'm glad that folks have come through just to show some support, show some love. I'm glad the notification went off or went out somewhere. Somebody saw it and reshared it or whatever the case. The YouTubers got to stick together. All my YouTube friends, hopefully you don't become strangers, but if you do, just know Mel loves you. You know what I'm saying? It's all good as when it comes to that. Yeah, nah, definitely game over. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate it. Just you got the call, you got the bat signal, the Mel signal, two M's in the sky, or something like that. That's just what that is, and it's cool. Hopefully, folks have had a good day. Hopefully, I made some sense in what I was saying. Thanks for the live show, brother. Yeah, no, definitely, Yankee. I thank you for coming through. I mean, these live shows are not, or live streams are cool. They're not, what they are without you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Tosh Time. Definitely. Chat soon. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. I'm just really saying my goodbyes now. As always, thank you for watching. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn Way.